Okay, I was gonna do this on the porch, but I had to make a tactical retreat because the heat was getting to me. Yeah. First real day in the 90s, a long time, and I wasn't prepared for it at all. So I'm down here in the war room where it's nice and cool, thankfully, to go on and put this arm back on since my crappy repair didn't work. And it's pretty obvious why it didn't work, but it is what it is. All you have to do is think about just why crap don't work. Yeah, there are things in life that makes repairing these trucks extremely easy. And case in point is power tools. There is absolutely no reason not to use them unless you don't know how to use them. If you don't know how to use them, you can destroy your car, so don't. You do have to love people that use these things, that runs the truck and have absolutely no idea how to work on them. Which isn't really a problem per se, because there are obviously hobby stores out there that will love to have your business and love to throw down you for like an arm repair like this. That will cost around, what, $12 in parts, and have you spending that $12 in parts and then another $40 worth of labor just to repair one arm. One arm, that's all. I have seen it multiple times, and it annoys the hell out of me every time I see it. But I get it. I get it. They have to make their money too. But still, charging all that just to repair one damn arm. It's not like you're taking the whole fucking car apart. It's something that you can do in 10 minutes, even if you suck at it. So, about this arm. These car makers, for the longest time, use a composite for their suspension parts. And most parts in general, it'll be some type of composite. Meaning that it's not all plastic. And then obviously. So what I did right here is basically took your garden variety plastic welder and tried to weld the ends back. But obviously that didn't work. Mainly because this plastic, it might look like plastic. It might feel like plastic, even though it's hard as hell. And there are plastics out there that's hard as hell. But this plastic also has a fiber part to it. Something along the lines of the fibrous material that be it's probably carbon based, but whatever it is, it strengthens the arm. And if you can heat the plastic of the arm up, because they have a mold, put the plastic material with the fiber in the mold, press it, done. And you can see the seam of the two parts of the mold where it came together, and molded the plastic and fibrous material 10 to 1 part. But when this breaks, and you can see it broke right there, that material, the fiber, actually snaps. And these arms like to snap more than they bend or break. And that's a little different from like RPM or some cheaper manufacturers that use straight nylon or a single molecule material. Well, polynomial, you want to call it anything. Or a polymer. I'm not even talking about math. A polymer or a mix of different plastics to make something like a nylon or ABS or something like that. That's basically all plastic. This is not all plastic. It has that fiber material in it. And that fiber material, once it enters the mold in the liquefied state and it solidifies, it's set in stone of just how it's going to be. Now, this arm can bend just a little bit because it still has some plastic element in it. But the thing about it is that that fiber is done. It's not gonna bend. It's not gonna bend. Yeah. Don't hit that up against the glass table, please. I don't know why I'm using this damn glass table down here. I just put the table down here. I'm like, oh, it's a table. I can work on it. Until I start banging metal against it and end up cracking and stuff. Okay, I'm going on a tangent, but okay, back to the fiber. Once that fiber is cooled in the mold, is set in stone, and the strength of the arm is dictated by just how much fiber is in it. It's just that simple. The flexibility of the arm is told by how much plastic is in it. So the more fiber that's in the arm, the more rigid and the stronger the arm is going to be. The more plastic that's in the arm, the more flexible the arm is going to be. And strength alone isn't really dictated by the amount of flexibility. Strength is how well it holds its shape. Like a diff case is going to have a lot of fiber in it, just like this. And these arms definitely do change in overall material because this arm is more like the material that's in the diff case. But the diff case is definitely has more fiber in it than like what the Arrma arms used to be. Now, the older arms, they had a certain amount of fiber, probably less than this, but you can tell that this arm is definitely thicker, definitely more rigid. It has almost no flex to it. Now, the arm can bend over time. You can heat it up and douse it with WD-40 and think it's going to gain some type of flexibility, and it will, but that can also really wreck an arm like this because it has more fiber in it than typical RC arms because it's so freaking rough, it's so hard. I mean, you take a car like the what do I got around here? Let's see. What do I have around here? Take an arm like in this thing, this red cat shredder. Yeah, I just got it sitting up here. You can see that this arm has a ton of flux in it. I mean, it got so oh God. Now this oh my God. Compared to something like this that has a ton of fiber in it, this has hardly any, if any at all. Especially this top thing, this top part It bends and buckles and, I mean, good grief. Are you joking me? Can you see this? I mean, this hardly has any fiber in it at all. None. So, it's going to be more likely to bend and bend, and yet it still has that seam on it that it can pull through. Just like a normal seam like this. It pulls through the seam. That's one of the weak points in the arm. But the arm can also snap under enough impact. Not bend. Actually snap because it has so much fiber in it. So, getting to the point, if you try to repair this arm, yeah, you can heat it up. Heat up the plastic that's in it. And get the plastic to form back to the shape that it was in. But you're not going to do nothing with the fiber. The fiber is not going to reshape just because you heat it up. You need to completely melt down that plastic to a liquid state. And you can't do that with normal fire because you would just start to melt the plastic. It takes a catalyst to actually melt down the plastic. And another chemical to separate another process to separate the catalyst from the actual plastic, the liquefied plastic, so it can take to a mold. Yeah, you just can't heat up a plastic and say the plastic fiber crap, because the plastic is going to burn and the fiber is just going to return to its chemical state, which if you inhale that stuff, I feel sorry for you. Yeah. Being in several industries that deal with equipment that actually make stuff, you know, it's a pain in the butt when you're talking about just how much stuff it goes into creating something like a bottle cap. That's pretty much just regular HDPE. Yeah. It's not just throwing some plastic pellets into a mold. You need several compounds in order to get that plastic to the mold. So your typical bottle cap, which is HDPE, probably has another 4 or 5 chemicals involved with it just to get it to that form from a plastic pellet. Just to get it from the plastic pellet to the bottle cap. So, just how much involves a liquefied thing like this going from whatever kind of compound it was to the liquefied state to the molded part that you see here. I mean, a lot of people think that the plastic in these cars are dirt cheap, but it's a hell of a lot of technology that goes into these plastics. It's not just, oh, we got a plastic part, it should be dirt cheap. Yeah, but dirt cheap is still, it is what it is. I mean, think about your bottle cap. It's a flimsy piece of plastic molded into a cap. Now, you got a diff case in this truck made out of a certain fibrous composite of plastic and fiber. Now, do you think something like that has the same complexity as a bottle cap? Something that needs to take a diff and hold it in place good enough to suffice a complete product, a usable product? Hell no. Are you joking me? I mean, we're talking about a differential. I mean, that's an obvious no. I mean, we're talking about a flimsy bottle cap versus a finished part that needs to hold literally one of the hearts of this car's mechanical systems. No. I mean, if you put HDPE in if you mold a differential case out of HDPE, it's just gonna heat up, expand, and your gears are just gonna end up chewing straight through the doggone stuff. Or at least the bearings is gonna heat up enough to make the plastic expand, and then your gears is gonna turn into putty. Literally silly putty inside of the damn truck, which sucks. Yeah, I know I can ramble on about this stuff forever and slowpoke around because I just don't want to go back outside. It's too hot. I know it's too hot. It is what it is. I digress. It's over. I done been out there for too long, and all that nasty pollen is starting to get to me, and I'm like, okay, it's time. I can just come in here and work on some more trucks, maybe. This is nice and cool in my war room, and I don't have AC down here. Oh, I don't need it on down here. I can actually redirect the vents upstairs where they're needed. I mean, seriously, it's like, what is it? What did the temperature say over there? What, 60, 67? That's awesome. That's awesome. No AC needed. Perfect. Well, if I go to my room upstairs, all kinds of craziness will be needed to keep that room cool. So, yeah. Let me go on and button this thing back up. So, yeah, I mean, for stuff like this, the plastic welding isn't gonna work. For parts that's gonna hold any kind of stress, it's not gonna work. If it has too much fiber in it, just like that arm, it's not gonna work. But if you have some basic nylon arms like the shredder down there, yeah, it'll work. Maybe. It might work, it might not. Probably. It's just 50-50. It depends on just how crappy the arm really is. And when I say crappy, I mean just how much plastic is in that arm. Because if it has too much, then the arm is pretty much worthless anyway. Okay, let me get this thing in there. Yeah, I know I can just rumble on, but at some point I need to just go on and get this repair done and stop playing around with it. And I know I didn't bring half the stuff I really needed to go on and do this thing real quick. Yeah, with this, usually I take an owl and locate the shock end to the hole so I don't have to try to be fishing for it. But my owl is upstairs. It would be upstairs. Man, this thing just does not want to go in there. Oh, come on. Perfect time for Al. And perfect time for me to waste time down here. But as for this truck, yeah, I beat it up today. Real bad. I'll probably give it a good week off to not get destroyed anymore. Because I know that if I keep on taking it out, I just find more and more ways to wreck the damn thing. I mean, an axle? I literally broke an axle off of this truck. Are you joking me? An axle? I mean, I got over 20 Arrma cars. 20. I'm getting tired of this. Bang, 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 bang. You know, this thing does not want to. It does not want to comply. Which means I have to use more basic techniques to iron it with my finger like a dummy to get it in the hole. Which I should have just went on and did in the first place. Wow. It is what it is. That's what heat can do to you. It can screw around with you. That's pretty much how you know you done been in the stuff too long. Okay, it's still in there, isn't it? Yep. Yeah, but it's been fun today. Basically been messing with this doggone truck all day. Finding ways to test it to its limits. Like how much this ridiculous system can try to destroy the thing. But in the end of the day, it's still in one piece. I definitely did try to give this car some weak points in order to keep the chassis from getting destroyed. Basically because this chassis is the original chassis from the original Siren, and I don't feel like cutting another one anytime soon, even though I got at least 3 new V5 Typhon chassis upstairs waiting for me to cut. Yeah. Because I definitely think that this chassis is going to end up needing to be replaced sooner or later if I manage to destroy the rear end enough to bend the damn chassis. I ain't even gonna bother. I know it's just gonna get beat up, and I'm not even gonna bother about pounding it back into shape. Not for something that old. But it is what it is, and that server was awesome. So I'm gonna end it here, and should I go back up to the heat? Or maybe I should just find something else to work on. Whatever. I'll figure out something to do.